Hi everyone. So in this video, I wanted to chat about how sustainability led me to minimalism and how I really think that they are connected. I really became interested in sustainability through studying fashion design and learning the impact of fast fashion. And while researching how to produce clothing more sustainably, I kept coming to the idea that the problem is not really using polyester over organic cotton, although that does contribute to it. The root of the problem is just the amount of clothes that are being produced and also thrown away. According to the True Cost, 80 billion new garments are purchased in 1 year, and that's up 400% from 20 years ago. So we're buying more clothes than ever, and this doesn't just have to do with clothes. People are buying bigger houses to fill with more stuff, constantly the newest technology, hundreds of beauty products, and filling fridges with food that doesn't get eaten. All of these things require resources. There's pollution from manufacturing and transportation, often environmental impact with use. And then a lot of them, unfortunately, just get thrown away and end up in the landfills where they don't biodegrade. Now, I have a more simple living approach to minimalism, I guess. I don't see minimalism as trying to live with as little as you possibly can. I think it's about living with the things that you actually use and need and enjoy having around. And that totally changes the way that you view stuff. And it's no longer about shopping for that excitement of buying something new, because we all know that that fades away, and then you have to keep shopping to continuously have that feeling of owning something new. But if all of your things have value and a function in your life, you not only appreciate them more and you don't need to buy new things all the time, but you also see when something that you might want to purchase doesn't really have a function or value in your life, and then you know that you don't need it. And in general, buying less things means that you can often invest more in the things that you do choose to purchase and buy things that are higher quality and going to last a lot longer, and invest in brands that manufacture in an ethical way using sustainable materials and are just generally much more responsible and care about their impact. It's interesting because the stuff that I own has become both less important and more important. And it's become much less important in the sense of, the way I see myself and define success, because I think a lot of us sort of were fed the idea that having a lot of stuff somehow means you're more successful and happier, and, buying things and having new things we equate with happiness, which is ridiculous. So they've become much less important in that sense, and then more important in the sense that the things I do choose to own, I want to either support companies that I really believe in, that I think are doing great things in terms of ethics and sustainability, or things that are having much less of an impact than something new would. So buying secondhand, which I also really love. The things that I do own are so much more valuable to me than they were. Like with my clothes, for example, instead of having a closet just bursting with all kinds of pieces that I didn't really care about, I now have pieces that I really like, that I enjoy wearing, and that I feel good in. There are two aspects, though, that are often talked about or related to minimalism that I don't think fit so well with the sustainable benefits, and those are the idea that you should just have a massive declutter and get rid of everything and not really care about where it goes, and buying new stuff to fit maybe a more minimalist aesthetic. And I do think sometimes content focuses a bit too much on the decluttering aspect and not enough on the actual purchasing and accumulating stuff aspect, which that to me is really where the sustainability component comes in. Some people talk about, just get it out of your life, get rid of it. And I don't think that's such a good approach. I think it is really important to make sure that the things that you're getting rid of are either being donated to an organization or a company that can use them, or given to other people. We have a responsibility for the stuff that we've bought and accumulated to try and get rid of it in as a responsible way as we possibly can, so it's not just going into the landfill. And also I've seen people asking questions about, with a capsule wardrobe, for example, if you should get rid of all your clothes and then buy a capsule wardrobe, and that's definitely not a sustainable approach. For sure, use whatever you have. When I started my capsule wardrobe, I actually decided I didn't want to buy anything new for quite a while until I really got a sense of what I needed in my capsule wardrobe and what I wanted to purchase so that I could purchase things that I knew would work really well. And the second thing is a lot of people follow the one in, one out rule, which I totally understand. It's a great way to make sure that you don't just reaccumulate stuff. And it's also a good way to assess the stuff that you buy to make sure that, you know, you're buying something that you actually want and you want it enough to get rid of something else. But I think sometimes it's sold as sort of a, well, you can buy something new as long as you get rid of something, so that you have this continuous rotation of stuff. And with a closet, for example, so that you kind of are able to constantly rotate clothes and have new clothes. That's obviously not a great sustainable approach either. The idea of having things and using them as long as you possibly can and taking care of them so that you can use them a long time, that's kind of the root of where sustainability and minimalism really work together. And even if you don't want to take on the minimalist label or adopt a fully minimalistic lifestyle, there are still so many great things to take away from the idea of just assessing what our connection is to the stuff that we buy and why we buy what we buy. And I think really the way to combat mindless mass consumption is just to think a bit more about the things that we purchase. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think sustainability and minimalism are connected? Did you, maybe like me, come to one through the other? Thank you for watching, and thank you so much to those of you supporting me on Patreon, and I will see you in the next one.